The In-House Show with NîCKY, only on East Coast FM 107.6, your radio station of the year.
This is Nick from Sneaky Pete's. You listen to NîCKY on the In-House Show.
Welcome back. This is East Coast FM 107.6 and this is the In-House Show with NîCKY. It's Friday night and your weekend has started. We're live here in the studio. We've got the man in the field on board. We've got Dan in the building. Oi. And we're glad to have you on board too. Don't forget, you can give us a buzz, give us some feedback, let us know how we're doing tonight. Tell us what you're up to, get a shout out.
Hi, this is Hayley Selassie and you are listening to In-House on East Coast FM on 107.6.
Welcome back. It's Friday night, it's 7:30, and as promised, Dan Morgan is in the building. Yes, he is. Oh, we've all been looking forward to this. I've wanted to ask him for such a long time to come into the show, and I'm so glad he's here. So he's a local businessman, he's from Trent, he's got a business in Trent, you may know him from Brass Buddha Tattoos, big up, shout out to the guys working there, working very hard indeed, and the feedback of the artwork coming out of there is excellent. I've been doing my homework, and everybody's given big thumbs up. So if you're looking for a tattoo, get yourself down at Brass Buddha, Trent High Street. Can't go wrong. Dan is here. Yeah, a wee free shout out, why not?
Absolutely.
So Dan, thank you for coming, firstly.
Thanks for having me, mate.
How are you feeling? You looking forward to this?
I am. Any chance to mix some tunes, definitely.
It's great to just get the tunes out, have some fun, isn't it?
Absolutely, man, absolutely.
So we're going to do a bit of history, a bit of digging. We're going to ask, where did it all start for you? Where about the clubbing?
Clubbing. I mean, musically, it was probably when I was 13, got into dance music, you know. But when it comes to clubbing, obviously a bit later. But in saying that, me and my best mate used to put on mini raves in Lock Centre in Trinent for about the age of 13, 14. Used to do it as fundraisers for the local youth centre and stuff like that. So that's probably where it started, to be honest. But mixing in his garage with the 1210s that he got for his Christmas, and then I got my own set and stuff like that, and it was good times, to be fair.
Back on the old vinyls, eh?
Aye.
That was the days, wasn't it? That was a different masterclass, wasn't it?
Absolutely, man. I think your average DJ these days who's just learning, I think they would be absolutely perplexed if you put them in front of them, to be honest.
It takes a lot to learn how to play vinyl if you've never had any experience mixing on anything at all, doesn't it?
100%. I think it's just it's gave me the best basis, to be fair. Beat matching with our own vinyl decks is a bit more tricky than with beat counters. It's
a serious challenge. It's not for the faint-hearted. Playing live, especially, isn't it? Because it can all go wrong very, very quickly.
Very quickly. Aye.
Did I hear garage there? Were you a garage man back in the day?
No, garage was. He had everything set up in the garage. We used to have the tunes absolutely pumping in his garage, but it was always more of a sort of. If I'm honest, I was a happy hardcore guy for the outset. Like that's what we used to be into. It changed pretty quickly, like into house music and stuff. Maybe hard house or whatever you would call it, like tidy tracks and like Lisa Lashes and stuff like that. Like we got right into that. But
Nuclear Puppy.
Aye, that's that kind of vibe, man. Aye.
Yeah, it used to be Ego. That's just the way the scene progressed,
100%,
isn't it? That's just everybody followed the same path, didn't they? It was what was on the up and what was happening, and that's where we went. So, when you did start going clubbing, where did you go? What were your first experiences? Now you're asking. Cabaret Voltaire has always been a place that I've went. La Belle and Gel as well. Specific nights I'm struggling to sort of think, but just those clubs, you know, like Liquid Rooms wasn't somewhere I ever really went, which obviously is massive these days in regards to clubbing in Edinburgh, but back then it wasn't really somewhere we would frequent. It's hard to think when you're on the spot.
100%.
It all goes out the window when you go on air. So why don't we play a little track and we'll catch up again in just a minute or two, eh?
Good old man.
This one is Lars, a part of, you heard that, Undefected?
got it, mate.
You got that? I'm not. This is not a spoiler, is it?
No.
We're good. So you never know what to play when somebody's coming in, because you don't want to, you know. Anyway, this is Lars, a part of. So we're here in the studio with Dan from Dan's Agenda. You can catch him on Instagram if you want to know more, see a bit more. Dan, a bit like myself, you took a bit of a gap from music, didn't you?
Yeah.
Took some time out.
Aye. For quite a long time, I wasn't really involved with DJing. I wasn't even really involved with listening to dance music as such. I'd kind of veered off on the path of listening to bands and stuff like that, but it was basically my best mate who decided that he was going to go to Ibiza for his 30th, and I was like, at that time I was thinking, Ibiza's not for me. I'd done it years ago, and at this point it wasn't really for me, and he's like, mate, I really, really want you to come. And it opened my eyes to the scene again, and never looked back, to be honest, man. And I'm buzzing that's the case. I thank him for that, because it's such a big part of my life now, you know what I mean?
Those feelings, they just don't go away. We were just talking about that while that track was playing. The emotions that music carries, and the memories, and we were just saying it just takes you to a place, doesn't it?
It can take you to a place. It can make you think of a person. There's nothing better than music, man.
Pick you up, lift you up,
absolutely.
Put you down, throw you around a bit. It's great, isn't it? It's great. I know what you mean there. I went off on a hip hop binge for a few years after not tolerating it at all. I couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it. And then one day it just clicked, and it all just fell into place, and I appreciated it on a whole new level. So your mates roped you into it again, didn't they? How did they get you out?
With regards to DJing?
Yeah, how did you get back on the scene? So
I've got a few mates involved in promotions and stuff like that, but namely my mate Chris Carlisle, Joe Wilson, who runs Made Academy as well. They had started their own night, which was at Cabaret Voltaire, called Mimic. And out of the blue, got a wee phone call saying, would you like to do a warm-up set before Sosa? And it was in the cafe, but I'll be honest with you, it was a nervy thing, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And I'll be honest with you, since then it's kind of snowballed.
You just got to step up to the mark.
It's kind of snowballed, and it's that was on the 29th of December last year. Played an hour in the cafe. There's about 3 or 4 people there, man, but it was class. I loved it, and again, never looked back. And I'm just looking at sort of what's happened in that year since then, and that wee opportunity that the boys gave us, and the opportunities that have come since as well, through them and just through other things, or because of that, thankful to be fair. Like,
you've had a pretty good year, haven't you?
I have, aye. It's no something I foreseen happening, and sort of like on the 29th of December last year, but
you couldn't have. There's no way you could have possibly.
Absolutely not.
From one cafe gig at Cab Vol for an hour, and then the next thing you know, you're being invited all places, aren't you?
Aye.
So tell us about some of the places you've been invited to this year.
This year we've so as it stands, I tend to play mostly with my big mate Xander. We were back to back all the time, so we decided to form a bit of a duo and call ourselves Dan's Agenda. So now, going forward, that's what we're going to be called. But to be fair, me and him went back to back on one session, and we couldn't get rid of each other. So now we are Dance Agenda, and with that we've been to Ibiza. we played on the Puck Up Boat Party in Ibiza, and even better, we managed to play an opening set at Eden in Ibiza, which was still blows my mind when I think about it. That's, to be honest,
huge.
It came out of nowhere, man. We went over there thinking we're going to play on a boat, and Joe sprung it on us like, by the way, you're opening Eden on Wednesday night, and it was like, wow,
legendary,
unbelievable. And I can't thank Joe enough for that, by the way.
You must have buzzed hard off of that.
I've never actually felt like that, man. Like there's no really anything I can tell you that compares to it. Like the feeling of getting told that, and then playing an hour and no making our balls at it, and then coming off, and I was just floating, man. Honestly, I felt like I was floating, and you know what? The even better thing was that I was surrounded by all my pals. Like, there was loads of us there, and it was just class.
Sounds like a bit of a homecoming moment.
It was I've raved on that dance floor many a time. Like, I've been there, and to be behind the decks and have people dancing in front of you, I can't explain how good a feeling it was, man.
Once you step over that other side of the line, it's the fulfillment that you get from that is just incredible, isn't it? Again, it's hard to describe, but so years ago I was involved in MMA. I had 14 MMA fights back in my sort of 20s into my early 30s, and there is I can only liken the fact, liken watching people playing dancing in front of you if you're playing tunes to fighting, winning a fight. Right. It's like, it gives you that same kind of buzz, and it's like, I feel like I probably had missed that, like, because I'd not fought for like 7 years, something like that. But now I realise that there was a gap there for something, and I feel more fulfilled because of it, man, to be honest. Like, good, man, good. What's that saying? You should do something every day that scares you.
Aye.
So basically something that makes you feel alive.
100%.
And stepping up to do something live in front of everybody really, really does do that for you. But it's great. It's growth, isn't it? And it's personal development, and I advise everybody to go out and do something that scares the heck out of you. As long as it's safe.
Yeah, of course.
Just go and push the limit.
There's within reason there.
Yeah, but go and push the limit and test yourself, because you will surprise yourself. People are amazing. It
can bring the best out in you, to be honest.
It can.
And the DJing side of things has been, again, mental this year. The Ibiza thing was bonkers, and then a few weeks ago we actually got to play down at Ministry of Sound in London as well, which was again mental. Again, shout out to Joe for that. Like, he's hooked so much of this stuff up through his Made Academy. They're like they do DJ courses, production courses, stuff like that. I never went on a DJ course or anything. I say, obviously it was a long time ago, but I have done a production course with them, and I can't actually rate it highly enough, to be honest. The guys were all really cool.
Thanks.
And it's helped me sort of get into the swing of starting to make music and stuff as well.
And I believe you've got a couple of tastes of that for us tonight.
Aye. The first mix that I'm going to play is a bit deeper, and I've got a couple of more tracks in there, because it just tends to be this kind of stuff that I make when I sit down at the computer, and it's just kind of what comes out, to be honest. And it's not necessarily something I always play, but I enjoy making it and
the process.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's nice to get a chance to play it to people who maybe aren't on my social media or not on my SoundCloud and stuff like that. So hopefully sooner rather than later I'll get a track signed and it'll be there for everybody to hear. But for the time being, this will do the trick.
Yeah, we've talked about this a few times on this show, haven't we? The creative process of things. And again, what people can get from that by just doing something like artistic or, music or anything. And obviously, being a tattoo artist, you must have a lot of creativity. And I can't wait to see this set tonight. So I'm really looking forward to it. Thank you again for coming. We're going to have a little track just now, and we'll have another little chat with Dan, and then let's do it. Let's get into the mix after that. We've got Dan in the studio. How you doing, Dan?
Good, man. Good.
Okay. Anybody want to say hello to while you're here? Everybody.
I've got a list as long as my arm, but my missus is listening, so this one's for Steph. To be fair, according to the group chat, everybody's listening, so the phone's been going big time. So
now, thank you to everybody who's been tuning in tonight. We really appreciate your company, and it's good to have you. So Dan, what's coming up over the next few months?
Well, next month's a big one. Big end to the year for myself, for Dance Agenda, but myself, I'm actually getting involved in a bit of promotion. So me and a couple of pals have put together a new promotion called Club Culture, which is going to be an over 25s day party. First one is 29th of December at the Biscuit Factory, Edinburgh. Tickets are on sale, by the way. Skiddle, you'll find them.
The venue looks wicked, doesn't it?
The venue's class, man.
Because they've done a lot of work in there recently, haven't they?
It's the ideal venue for it, to be honest. And that's kind of aimed at people, as much as it's over 25s, like, it's aimed at people kind of my age, 30s, who've maybe got kids that are no getting a chance to go out as much as they once did, and they maybe want to go clubbing, but they're not going to want to be at a club till 3 or 4 in the morning. But we're hoping to give them the opportunity to get back on the dance floor, enjoy themselves, get home at a reasonable time if they want.
There's a lot of unnecessary stigma around clubbing these days, and
man.
Kids, it's all for kids and it's no for people over 30 and stuff like that. But I speak to people, we've got regular listeners in their 60s who tune in every week, you know, and it's for everybody. And this is the point I'm trying to make. We've had to educate from the bottom here, and we're working it to the top. But it's for everybody. There's something for everybody. It's funk, house, disco, tech house, techno, drum and bass, jungle. You know, it all works together beautifully as well. So if it's done well,
I'm with you, man. To be honest, like I've never cared who's next to me on the dance floor. It can be a 60-year-old or it could be an 18-year-old. But I'm usually just in the zone and enjoying myself anyway. But there's definitely a stigma involved, and we're hoping to try and sort of overcome that with what we're doing.
We want to support that. So you want to tell everybody who that was again?
That's Club Culture.
Club Culture.
That's the 29th of December at Leith Biscuit Factory. And we've got a cracking lineup of some proper veterans in the old Scottish scene. Like we've got John Mancini, we've got Gareth Somerville, we've got Huggy. Mm-hmm. We've just. But I can't say who else we've got because it's not been completely confirmed yet. We had one pull out, so we've had to replace that. We've also got kicking things off. We've got a wee sort of live band who are going to be doing some covers and stuff like that, just to warm things up, start the day off, and a singer as well, Georgia. So she's going to be again probably doing some covers and just to get everybody in the mood to kick things off. And I'm really looking forward to that one, man, I have to say.
Sounds different. It sounds exactly what is needed right now, doesn't it?
That's been the reaction, to be honest. I'll be honest with you when I say that, like, a lot of my pals wouldn't go to clubs these days, but they'll come to something like that because they know that they're not going to be surrounded by what you'd maybe regard as kids. But again, if we can get them back on the dance floor enjoying themselves, that's what I'm all about.
That's it, man. That's it. We fully support that. So if there's anything we can do to help you guys out, let us know. We'll be shouting that one out regularly. So if you're over 25 and you want an excellent night out, go check that out. Right, where are we at? Shall we do another tune and then we'll do a bit more chatty? So this one is Dom Dollar, Miracle Maker, and then we'll hear a bit more about what else is in the pipeline for Dan. We're back. I've lost my mic. I've lost the mic. Right, we're back in the studio. So we were just having a catch up there with Dan, and he was telling us about some events that are coming up in the future. Have you got anything else in the pipeline?
Yeah, a couple of really big ones for Dance Agenda towards the end of the year. Same day as the Club Culture event, actually. We're playing at Cabval for Fly and Easy Street. Nice. We're actually taking over the decks for Hayley Selassie. My wee mucker Ryan Sweeney is on the warm up for her as well. Shout out to the Easy Street Boys, by the way, because they've been a massive support to us. Like they book us, they put us on whenever they've got the opportunity. They put us on, and I really appreciate that. They're a good bunch of lads, and again, wee Sweeney's my mucker, and he's the type of lad who he wants to see people around him do well, and I love that. I love that, and the boys are all spot on, and it's good to see them doing good things because I rate them, man, really rate them.
So they've been doing pretty well for themselves.
They're flying, making good decisions and whatnot, and I'm here for it, man. To be honest, like because they deserve it. So again, good lads.
That's what we're doing here. We're just promoting Scottish talent because it is in abundance at the moment, isn't it? The Scottish scene is booming.
I think so, man. I think you and I spoke about it earlier on. Like it's a small scene, but there is a lot of talent there, man. And there's still loads to come through as well. Like I say, obviously we're talking about earlier on with Joe and his Made Academy thing, man. He's got like an absolute like conveyor belt of talent there, and he's got some a lot of the guys who are making waves in the Edinburgh scene now have came through his academy. So big up to him. Like, and to be fair, like I would say if anybody was interested in learning to DJ, like that's get in touch with Made Academy, man.
Made Academy.
Aye.
They got an Instagram page, Facebook, and that?
We are Made. Yeah, they're spot on. Like I can't actually recommend that enough. If you've got a love for music and even if you just want to DJ in the house. Like, you don't have to try and be a headliner somewhere. if it's about enjoyment for you, like, because it makes me happy. I know that much, you know what I mean? And majority of the time I just play in the house, but again, obviously you get the chance to play in clubs, it is what it is, but I would recommend it highly.
It's a hobby, isn't it? And it's good to have hobbies, and it's good to develop skills, as we were saying earlier. So
yeah, 100%.
Why not?
So
anything else coming up?
Yeah, so the next day, actually, so it's got to be a hectic weekend. The next day, we are playing at Liquid Rooms for Evolve. They've got a mega lineup. That
sounds big.
It's mega. It's a whole club takeover. You've got NîCKY, DJ Hyperdrive, Calvin Logue, Subtracks. Again, with Mucker Sweeney's on that too, ourselves, and the headliners are Billy Gillis and DOD.
Oh yes,
big. It's big. Like they've no messed about with that one. We actually got a wee surprise with that one. My mate Jerry, who runs Evolve, didn't actually tell us we were going to be on that lineup before he posted it. So,
the in-house show with NîCKY.
Right, we're back in the studio. So we were just having a catch up there with Dan, and he was telling us about some events that are coming up in the future. Have you got anything else in the pipeline?
Yeah, a couple of really big ones for Dance Agenda towards the end of the year. Same day as the Club Culture event, actually. We are we're playing at Cabval for Fly and Easy Street. Nice. We're actually taking over the decks for Hayley Selassie. My wee mucker Ryan Sweeney is on the warm up for her as well. Shout out to the Easy Street boys, by the way, because they've been a massive support to us. Like they book us, they put us on whenever they've got the opportunity. They put us on, and I really appreciate that. They're a good bunch of lads, and again, wee Sweeney's my mucker, and he's the type of lad who he wants to see people around him do well, and I love that. I love that, and the boys are all spot on, and it's good to see them doing good things because I rate them, man. Really rate them.
So they've been doing pretty well for themselves.
They're flying, making good decisions and whatnot, and I'm here for it, man. To be honest, like because they deserve it. So again, good lads.
That's what we're doing here. We're just promoting Scottish talent because it is in abundance at the moment, isn't it? The Scottish scene is booming.
I think so, man. I think you and I spoke about it earlier on. Like it's a small scene, but there is a lot of talent there, man. And there's still loads to come through as well. Like I say, obviously we're talking about earlier on with Joe and his Made Academy thing, man. He's got like an absolute like conveyor belt of talent there, and he's got some a lot of the guys who are making waves in the Edinburgh scene now have came through his academy. So big up to him. Like and to be fair, like I would say if anybody was interested in learning to DJ, like that's get in touch with Made Academy, man.
Made Academy.
Aye.
They got an Instagram page, Facebook, and that?
We are Made. Yeah, they're spot on. Like I can't actually recommend it enough. If you've got a love for music and even if you just want to DJ in the house, like you don't have to try and be a headliner somewhere. So if it's about enjoyment for you, like because it makes me happy. I know that much. You know what I mean? And majority of the time I just play in the house, but again, obviously you get the chance to play in clubs. It is what it is, but I would recommend it highly.
It's a hobby, isn't it? And it's good to have hobbies, and it's good to develop skills, as we were saying earlier. So
yeah, 100%.
Why not?
So
anything else coming up?
Yeah, so the next day, actually, so it's got to be a hectic weekend. The next day, we are playing at Liquid Rooms for Evolve. They've got a mega lineup. That
sounds big.
It's mega. It's a whole club takeover. You've got NîCKY, DJ Hyperdrive, Calvin Logue, Subtracks. Again, with Mucker Sweeney's on that too, ourselves, and the headliners are Billy Gillis and DOD.
Oh yes,
big. It's big. Like they've no messed about with that one. We actually got a wee surprise with that one. My mate Jerry, who runs Evolve, didn't actually tell us we were going to be on that lineup before he posted it. So,
right.
Luckily enough, for free. But
that's good news, isn't it?
That was class, man. I didn't expect it, to be honest, not at all. But buzzing with that. Shout out to Jerry because again, the support is. I appreciate that. He's one of my lifelong friends. But the support was appreciated. Like
cool. So, I think we'll do a couple of ads and then we'll get you in the mix. You've been waiting patiently.
Aye.
Everybody's been waiting patiently. We've got to do this, man. We've got to do this. So, right, quickly, a couple of ads and then we'll be back with some tunes.
The in-house show with NîCKY, only on East Coast FM 107.6, your radio station of the year. We have been selected as this year's winner. www.prestigeawards.co.uk. Your weekend starts now.